Hey guys, LQ with the LQ review here. And just wanted to talk a little bit about the movie that just came out this week, A Dog's Journey. Took my son to see it. My son was a big fan of the first movie, and the second movie he really couldn't wait to see, which is a little weird to me because they don't seem like kids' movies. My son is 10. Oh, he's 11 now. He just turned 11. Excuse me. He's 11, and he was just really into it. And like I said, doesn't really strike me as kids' movies. These are like family dramas. But he definitely had to go see it. So, what were my thoughts on A Dog's Journey, the sequel to the movie The Dog's Purpose? Out of all the movies I've ever seen in my life, this one made me want to go home and hug my dog. I had to I had to go home, sit in my red chair, and just have my dog come over to me and give me a hug. That was the type of movie this was. It was heart wrenching. Now, like I said, it's a sequel to the movie A Dog's Purpose, and in that movie, the dog had the purpose to take care of Ethan, who was played as an adult by Dennis Quaid. Well, in this movie, we see Dennis Quaid as an older man, and as Bailey, the dog, is getting ready to pass away. And as we know, this is a reincarnation movie where the dog passes away and it keeps on coming back in different lives. And its purpose is to find the person that is its purpose and take care of him. So Dennis Quaid is an older man. Bailey, the dog, is getting ready to pass away. And Dennis Quaid charges the dog with, you've done your job, you've taken care of me, now take care of my granddaughter, CJ. And what I appreciated about this was that Dennis Quaid kept on popping up in the movie. He popped up he was in the beginning a lot, then he popped up about halfway through, and then he was there at the end to help CJ connect the dots, and that was great. And they really made him up to look like an old man. Um, the prosthetics, it was definitely prosthetics. The prosthetics that they used were fantastic. He looked like an old Dennis Quaid, so that was cool. But the feels in this movie, oh my gosh. So when Bailey first passes away, 10, 15 minutes into the movie, you get some feels. But then you get feels throughout the course of this movie. Throughout the course of this movie, I don't know. There's sad moments that are bad in movies that I'm like, oh, I don't want to see that movie again. That was heartbreaking. So there are actually movies that have sad moments that I'm not interested in seeing them again because I don't want to feel that way. But the sad moments in this movie were sad yet hopeful. They staged all the sad moments in life with a glittering of hope. This idea that in every sadness that happens in our lives just opens a door to something else. So I really appreciate that message, especially the fact that my son is so into this story. I really appreciate the fact that they stage sad moments as springboards for something else, and that includes death. This movie does not shy away from the topic of death. Obviously, it's a movie about a dog dying again and again and again. So even death in this movie is treated as the next step to something else for the person who died, and the next step to something else for the people who had to let go of that person. So, like I said, I appreciated that angle of the story. Acknowledging bad things happen in this world, but treating them as if we look at them from the right perspective, we can grow, we can get better, and we can open doors to new possibilities in our lives. Even at the end, there's a human death. One of the main characters passes away at the end, and he passes away, and all you feel is happiness. I mean, it's you're not happy that he passes away, but you're happy looking back on his life and understanding the things that he went through and the experiences that he had, and it's like you want to celebrate that. If I were there in the character's shoes that was around this person when he passed away, I would want to celebrate that life, right? That's what funerals are about, is celebrating lives. And that was kind of the way that I felt. Putting myself in the character's shoes, I'd be like, this is a celebratory moment. And the movie is not, this is, like I said, the sequel to A Dog's Purpose. It's called A Dog's Journey, but the movie easily could have been called A Dog's Purpose too, because the whole point of this movie is fulfilling the purpose of this dog. The whole movie is about fulfilling its purpose, and he talks about his purpose throughout the movie. The dog doesn't actually talk. We just hear it's kind of in its inner monologue. But it's all about him fulfilling his purpose. And at the end, when the purpose is finally fulfilled, there is conclusion to the story. So yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I left the theater very melancholy, just wanting to get home and give my dog a hug, but I liked it. And I thought it was a very well done story, and it's a legacy story. And I'm a sucker for legacy stories. I'm a sucker for stories that go through generations, that show how generations impact each other. This is nowhere near the level of storytelling as Roots, but that's why I like Roots so much. Legacy stories. That's why I like comic books so much. Comic books are legacy stories. So yeah, I like this because it's a legacy story, and because it takes the lives of several generations, 2 generations, no, 3 generations, takes the lives of 3 generations and shows how one life can impact those 3 generations. So great family movie. It opens up a lot of good discussions that you could possibly have with your children. There's going to be some hard discussions possibly, depending on your child's maturity level. There could definitely be some hard discussions about death, about alcoholism, about emotional abuse. All that's in here. Um, Depending on what your religious beliefs are, you might have to have a discussion about reincarnation. But there's good stuff in here. There's good content in here to work through with your children. And that's what I did with my son on the ride home. We talked through some of this stuff, and it was nice to be able to have those moments with him where I was just able to be, you know, a movie given me the opportunity to kind of be dad/teacher. So that was a lot of fun. So I appreciated this movie. I thought it was well done, and I definitely recommend you going out to see it, especially if you've got kids over 10 or older. I would say if you got kids that age, I think younger than 10, they're gonna be bored. But 10 and older, I think it's a good movie and is going to open up opportunities for you to have some teachable moments. So that's my take on this movie. Have you seen it yet? Let me know if you have in the comments down below and what you thought. But thank you for being here at the LQ Review, where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you later.